Good evening, everyone. Okay, Alma, do you need to be added?
Hello, Dr. Owens.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, Dr.
Here we
Nakia Owens.
are.
Yes, lovely. Everything came together quickly. So,
Yes.
yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Alma. I'm a real estate agent in Philadelphia, PA. I'm so excited to be here with the Dr. Nakia Owens, the CEO slash president of the Campaign for Working Families. Yes, we will be talking about the Level Up tax update with the Campaign for Working Families. So, yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Owens, for spending your Thursday evening with us. We're excited to learn from you. If you don't mind, please tell us a bit about your backstory.
Yeah, absolutely. So, where it's like, where do I begin, right? So I'm Dr. Owens, President and CEO of Campaign for Working Families, and it's always a pleasure to be with you all. And for those that have joined, good evening. And so a little bit about myself. So I actually have been engaged with Campaign for Working Families since about 2014. A little bit about myself. I moved, I'm a born and raised California, moved to DC to go to school. So I finished finished high school in 3 years. As a junior, graduated. I actually grew up in the child welfare system in California, and at 17 was emancipated and got a one-way ticket to school, to Howard University. That's DC, with me and my two bags. I always tell people like the rest is history, right? So. Went to Howard, got my undergrad and my master's of social work, and I've, worked really across the fields of research, human services, education. It really brings me joy to be able to, impact people's lives. Obviously, this is a calling for me and it's a purpose. Something that's near and dear to my heart. As I've said, have done, I've, taught at the collegiate level. I've done research. I've served as, I've been a probation officer at one point. I was a counselor for 10 years, a crisis counselor, domestic violence, sexual assault, you name it. I also lived in Texas at one point, Atlanta and Texas, and I commuted between Texas and Pennsylvania for over 3 years, leading an education project for the state of Pennsylvania under Governor Rendell. And then that's kind of a little bit what brought me back um, to the kind of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area, when I was kind of at a point in my life where, um, things needed to make, kind of shift. So then I came here, worked at, United Way, and had the opportunity to really start investing philanthropic funds and raising money to invest into the VITA work, which is the tax preparation work. And it was actually really one of my first investments that I raised money for. It was the volunteer income tax assistance, which was the VITA work. I then worked with my predecessor in raising funds and leveraging United Way funds with city funds and other dollars, and really building I would say the capital campaign was pretty small when I initially started it, raising money around. It had about maybe a 250,000, maybe $300,000 budget. It was under the fiscal sponsorship of, another organization. And so come full circle in 2016, after, working with their president and CEO in raising money and, making certain connections, they were able to get their own 501c3. And, currently, we are now a 4.4-ish million organization, and we've expanded a lot of the programming. So in 2022, October 1, 2022, I assumed the president and CEO role here at the Campaign for Working Families. And we have just gone to work in really building out our programming, because really the mission of Campaign for Working Families is to build and champion the financial well-being of individuals and families. And how we do that and how we show up in doing that is one way is through free tax preparation through our VITA work, but we use VITA to connect people to comprehensive resources, right? And so we want to make sure that, when they come through our doors, that obviously we're meeting their tax needs, but we're meeting other needs that they may need to have addressed, whether it's benefits or housing or things of that nature.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your hard work and your service.
Thank you.
So, yes, I do want to learn more about the Campaign for Working Families mission as an anti-poverty tool.
Yeah, absolutely. So, couple of things. Of course, we serve over 22,000 individuals, tax filers, right? We bring back over $32 million in refunds, and we filed over 26,000 federal and 20 some thousand state returns, right? And so if you think about it, obviously that 32 plus $million is certainly life changing for so many individuals, right? Sometimes it's the most income that they'll receive in a lump sum in that year. They're able to pay down debt, to get things for their children, to meet their basic needs, and to get caught up, right? And so that is I would just say a fundamental tool that really helps really lift families up. And it's the earned income tax credit that and its companion, the child tax credit, that gets a lot of I would say significant credit, right? We know that the earned income tax credit is the greatest anti-poverty fighting program in the country. It, reduces poverty across every city, in the nation each year. And it gives people an opportunity to be, really to be lifted up in a way that really impacts them, financially, but impacts them, significantly, just as, as a whole, as a family. And so these dollars are so important, because if you get one child, you get over 4,200 plus, the taxes they took back, I took out of your check, and you get some of that back. And then, you have two children, it's over 60, $100, and then, three children, over $7,800. So these things, and, plus, some of the taxes that they took out, plus some of your other credits. So sometimes you can walk away, depending, eight, nine, five, 6,000, $10,000, right? So this is really, really important. So we know that offering this service, the free tax preparation service, is life changing, right? And then we couple that with some of our other programs, which are the Family Stability Program, that really helps to provide wraparound services and support to families. So if you're having if you're housing insecure, or you're, looking at being evicted or having some housing issues, we want to make sure that we can address that. That program provides support, financial assistance, and a host of different things, not just for the adult, but for the children as well. Because many times you have programs that either focuses on the, kid, or focuses on the adult. This particular program focuses on the whole entire family. And then, of course, we have our low income taxpayer clinic, because we know that not everybody is in the best of standing with the IRS. So that program is really designed to help with disputes and challenges. And if you owe the IRS and you need an offer and compromise so that you can, maybe get that reduced and, wiped clean because of a hardship that you may have or other issues that you have, we have the low income taxpayer clinic that can really help you and support you in that. And then, of course, we have our benefits area under our family stability department, where they're able to connect people with resources that they may be entitled to, whether that's unemployment compensation, that's SNAP, it's LAHEAP, it's Medicaid, it's Medicare, whatever it is. We're able to, support you. Or if you qualify for PACE programming, we also have a partnership with PACE. We can connect you to those resources as well. So the goal is to encourage, people to continue to, to work and to reap the benefits of their hard work.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, what is the earned income credit, and what is a child tax credit?
Yeah, absolutely. So the earned income tax credit is basically like a supplement that the, kind of, I would say, income, but it's, just what it is. It's kind of like a supplement that the government gives you when you don't earn a certain amount, right? And so it really helps to, offset and supplement basically, families' income or individuals' income. Because even if you're an individual, you can get a just over $630 if you qualify and you don't make enough money. So it really supplements individuals' income. And then the child tax credit is basically, it is a credit that you receive, and it's the companion really of the earned income tax credit. And so if you have children, that you could qualify up to, $2,000 credit, for each dependent that you are able to claim. So if your income is not very high, and if you get these credits, it brings down your tax liability, right? And so if your tax liability is brought down, plus you get the earned income tax credit, that's where you end up, walking away with several $1,000s in a refund.
That's awesome. I do know a real estate developer who actually started their real estate journey with tax refunds. So these are some of the keys to building wealth that a lot of underserved communities may not be privy to. So
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Definitely. A lot of individuals, they'll use, contrary to any popular belief, these refunds and these dollars are used to really move the family in, in terms of financial upward mobility. They don't take the money and run off to, Paris and London, or, any of, Greece. They're using these funds to, to really advance their life and really for their family. And the other thing is that, the reality is that there are, over 80% of the people that can work do work, actually.
mhm.
They just don't make enough to be able to, a lot of times, pull them out of poverty. They're making poverty wages. When you have people coming into the tax site with, uh, there were two, three, four W-2s, working two, three, four jobs just to make $39,000 a year. That's problematic. A living wage is, just, 60,000, what, Philadelphia area, around $60,000. And if you're, working two and three jobs, it's very difficult. So, but these dollars really that they receive really are invested in helping to, build them up and helping them to hopefully be able to move out of poverty so that they can do better for themselves and for their families.
That's awesome. So does a campaign for working families do taxes for people that are self-employed? Can self-employed people also get earned income tax credits and child tax credits as well?
Absolutely. So we want to see all of our gig workers, all of those barbershops and salons. So in small businesses, we don't do complex, excuse me, taxes. For example, if you have a lot of employees and you are, have a lot of real estate and capital gains and dividends, we do capital gains and dividends, just not, an extensive amount. Then we want to be able to serve you. So we don't generally turn people away unless obviously their tax return is, significantly complex and they have employees and the like. But all your 1099 NECs, come and see us. The gig workers, DoorDash, Instacart, Grubhub. You need to, look us up because you're going to get the all of the services for free. Trust me, we did Secret Shopper with several different paid tax preparers. You're going to pay nearly 1,000, if not over $1,000, to file a tax return at a paid preparer to do your Schedule C and your small business return. So you can come and see us, and we can get it done for you for free.
Wow, that's amazing. So some people feel like they don't make enough money to file their taxes. How would you describe the importance of doing your taxes?
Absolutely. So if you think that you don't make enough money, to file tax, because the truth is, if you do make under $15,000 a year and you're single, you don't have to, you don't have an obligation to file your taxes typically, right? If it's higher than that, of course, 20 something for a head of household, and then married filing jointly is over 29,000, right? But the reality is that you don't have to not file because they're being nice to you. The government is not being nice to you. They're keeping your money and they probably owe you some money. So even if you made a small amount of money, let's say you made $3,000 or $5,000, right? And you have one child. So you're going to get a portion of that 40, of that 42, some change, $1,000 back, right? You're going to get a small amount of that back. You may not get the entire amount, but you're going to get a portion, right? If you don't file at all, that money goes unclaimed and left on the table every year. And you join the 50,000 or over 40,000 plus people every year in Philadelphia that does not claim the earned income tax credit, right? And so, no matter if you think you made a little bit or you made a lot, you need to file your taxes. And it's good because you also have the ability to enter mainstream banking, right? We don't want you to be underbanked and unbanked. We have an option to connect you with one of our, banking partners. We have a couple banking partners, TrueMark Financial Credit Union, TD Bank, that's waiting to get you, connected into the mainstream banking system. If you're looking at, purchasing a home or doing any of those things, you need to, have filed your taxes. You need to be current. People want to see that. They just don't want to see your pay stub. And so I encourage you, no matter how little or how much you make, you need to file your return. Right now, there's billions of dollars and millions here in Pennsylvania that have gone unclaimed after 3 years, and you haven't filed, and like say they owed you, you owed money, and then you found out they owed you money and you wanted to go back to, let's say 2020 and filed and get the money after this April 15th, you cannot claim that money. You can't. So after 3 years, the money's off the table. So you only have 3 years to get that done. So every year, file your return, no matter how little money, because I've done someone's taxes that made 2,500 and they walked away with over $1,000 in their pocket that had one child.
Wow. Wow. So how do people contact the CWF for their services?
Absolutely. So you can go to our website, www.cwfphilly.org. You can, we have a call center. So we want to be timely. We want to be responsive. We want to make sure that we're, making sure that you can connect with us. So we have a call center that you can call. So you can call 215-454-6483. That website is www.cwf as in Frank, that's Philly, PHILLY.org. Or you can call our call center, 215-454-6483, and they will get you connected to the resources that you need. So the other thing I want to mention as well is that if you know somebody, you have somebody that has not claimed their stimulus payment from 2021, or they didn't file a return, they think that they qualify for a refund. April 15th is the deadline to do that, right? It is the deadline to get that done. Not April 16th, so don't come in April 16th trying to say I didn't claim my stimulus. The time is now to make sure that you are getting all the money back into your pocket that you deserve. We are living in a time, in some unprecedented times, where every dollar counts. And if it doesn't count today, it's definitely going to count tomorrow. So I'm encouraging every single, person to make sure that they file their taxes and that they file it on time and they get all the money and tax credits that they deserve. And more importantly, that you come to the Campaign for Working Families to get that done, because the services are free. Every single one of our tax preparers have been IRS certified and trained. So we're not getting people that are just off the street that don't know what they're doing. Many, if not the majority of our site managers have been with Campaign for 10 plus years, 10 to 15 years. You're not going to get better than that, right? And when you go into H&R Block or in Liberty or any of those, you don't ask them how long that person's been sitting there. And a lot of times they get trained that very same year. So I encourage you not to, to spend money and not to pay to get your taxes, done. Take that $200-300, $400, $1,000, and put it in a savings account and watch your investment grow. If you want to give away money, give it away to yourself.
Hmm. Wow, that's very pertinent for the challenging times. So yeah, does a Campaign for Working Families provide tax services for all communities? Are there any income limits?
Right. So we provide our services are available across the Philadelphia region. We actually serve nationally because we have a virtual platform. So we can file anybody's pretty much return wherever they live. We have actually our, virtual tax manager actually lives in Florida. So, and a couple of the preparers on the virtual platform, actually one lives in Texas. So they live in different states. So we can actually do your return, from, anywhere you're located virtually. We also, but on the ground, our brick and mortar, we are throughout the Philadelphia area, as well as New Jersey, Southern New Jersey, and we're located in New York. So we're located in the four boroughs of New York, which is Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, and Harlem. We're located throughout 20 sites we have throughout Philadelphia, and we're located in Camden and Vineland and Mercer County in New Jersey. So you can go to our website, you can see, what's available, go visit, see the hours of operation are there. If there's an appointment, then, available, you can schedule an appointment. So you can find us, and we have many sites, really across over 30 sites across our coverage areas. These are brick and mortar. And plus we meet you where you're at, right? Like everybody can't come in and get their tax and sit and get their taxes done. So you can come in, complete the paperwork, drop it off, and come back later and pick it up. You can drop it off and finish it virtually. You can get it done virtually, and and you don't have to see us, or you can get it done in person because you have the time. The only thing I ask is that you give us a little bit of time. We try to get you in and out as soon as possible, but you have to give a little something, and sometimes it might be a couple of hours. So if you're coming in person, so those are four ways that you can get it done, and we're ready, willing, and able to get you served.
That's lovely. So, when is the last day that you will be accepting appointments for the tax services?
Yeah. So it varies a little bit. So you can walk in. We have our sites actually run through the extended tax season, a couple of them. And so our headquarters is open through the end of, well, October 15th is the deadline, the extended tax season. So we're open and we take individuals through October the 15th. And so even if you miss tax day, which is April the 15th, if you miss, you can still come and see us. You can still get things done. We do amendments. We can do up to 3 year of prior returns. So you can get your current year done. If you're behind, you can get your current year done and you can get your back years done, right? And so we want to make sure that so you can get all of that done for, no cost to you, or you can come in. Let's say somebody did your taxes and you're like, oh, this doesn't look right. You can come in and we will look at your return. And if it needs to be amended, we can do the amendment for you. And that's all of that is free of charge as well.
Wow, what a blessing. Miss Sandy Lawrence is asking, what's the best time to walk in and not have to wait as long?
Well, always the early bird gets the worm. So if you get up early, you're the first one that walks through the door, you'll be the first one served. The best time is always obviously in the morning, right? Because if you wait, you wait later, you're waiting in line, and the line can get long, right? We do have appointments for our New York site. So you can actually go to the website and schedule an appointment on the website for any of our New York sites. You can, if you're having an IRS problem, you can also schedule an appointment with our LITC director, our low income taxpayer director. That's on our website as well. And we have a mobile operation, at various, shop rights that we're leading, and you can see that schedule, and you can also schedule an appointment via the website as well. That's how you can get connected in terms of an appointment. But the best time is the first, is to be the first one.
Well, okay, so if you are filing your taxes in Pennsylvania, can you still visit the New York Center and be serviced?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well,
You would need to schedule an appointment, or if you walk in, we do take drop off. So if you don't have an appointment, then you would be a drop off in a New York site. But yes, you can be served. You can be in Pennsylvania and be served in New York. You can be in New York and be served in Pennsylvania. Doesn't matter where you are, you can be served.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Owens, for your expertise, your service to the community. And if there are no other questions, we definitely will we'll see you soon.
Great. Thank you so much, and look forward to, being of service to whoever needs it. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck with all of your requests.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye bye.
Bye.